Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Fireside Forge. I'm your host, Citrine, the Armored Sloth. And today we're here with, let's see, we got Tangle. What's up, Tangle?
Hi.
We got Crank, or Cranky. What's going on? Nice. And today we have a guest for the first time. I think this is our first guest.
It is our first guest.
This is InkRose. Say hello.
Hello.
What do you do? What do you, what artistic pursuits, what do you do?
Yeah, besides
I'm gamer.
Nice.
I make game.
Yeah, nice. Okay.
What I basically do is I'm like mostly like a director and like lead artist and writer on a couple of indie games. That Cranky has actually worked with me a bit, which is so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, her mom pays me.
And I've worked so far on 3 like released projects. One of them is called The Fantastic Kitty Roo, and it's like a little rhythm game / visual novel game. And then another one was Liberty Bell, which was like a cute little PS2 style platformer. Another one was called Mariposa and the Galaxy Man, and that was just like a demo we were doing for a Kickstarter. And then right now we're working on Noiramore Academy, which is a mystery adventure game.
Nice. Okay, we'll probably we'll have those linked below, like when we post the episode too, so people can check those out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did want to tell, okay, so I wanted to tell this story on the podcast, but I'm pretty sure I'm the reason y'all started working together in the first place, because we have a job posting portal, because I mean, it's probably obvious to anyone watching, but like, we don't make money right now as a studio.
Wow.
Like, I'm actively losing money producing this podcast, but I do want to give people a chance to like find other pursuits in the meantime that like make money if they need it. So we have a job posting channel, and I think I saw something you had posted on Twitter looking for a texture artist. And I had posted it in there, and Crank was like, "Oh, let me apply to this." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, cool." And then she like told us that you had messaged her back and stuff, and I was like, "Oh yeah, like let's go!" So that was really cool.
I'm fact checking this because I distinctly remember it being an Instagram thing. Hold on.
Is it Instagram? I'm pretty sure you can, if you go to the job posting portal and you search.
I didn't use Twitter at the time.
I feel like you probably just messaged her on Instagram, because all the stuff I get is from Twitter. Wait, I'm looking too, actually.
Hold on.
I'm pretty sure.
We got a live fact check going on here.
The thing is, I'm like blanking. I don't know what to look up.
Hold on, I found it. It was
freaking
yeah,
puny.
it's hold on. Wait. Yeah, 2 years ago. And it's a Twitter post, and you're like, I'm gonna DM her, and you're like, I sent it, and then you got a message back and you were freaking out, and I was like, yeah, get it, girl.
I think it might have been like you messaged me on Instagram though.
Yeah, you probably did, because I know you didn't.
I remember that. I also remember like maybe a year or two previous, you were working on Mariposa, and I came into your DMs like unsolicited, like trying to simp, like, "Hey, do you need help?"
I think you mentioned that in the chat too at the time.
I was probably like, man, I wish I could pay someone, but no, I can't. But then Mom was like, hey, I can help you out on Kitty Roo because we really need to finish this. And I'm like, yay, thanks.
That's pretty cool.
Of course, just like I had to do the art test right as I was in the middle of moving, so that was fun.
Yes.
But it was super impressive. So we were like, yo, this is great. We're going to have some help working on this. And she knows how to do hand painting. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I think I did hand painting like once. I don't know how I managed to do that.
I mean, it looked good.
It did. We ended up using those assets in the game in the where did we use those? In the attic of the theater part.
Theater.
Bet.
Amazing.
But yeah, that's pretty cool. I love it when I post stuff and people like get work because of it. That makes me so freaking happy.
Yeah.
Also,
Can you
if
think of any other
y'all,
times that's happened?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think that's like the one time. I just like being helpful though.
Fair
So
enough.
I hope it happens more times. Actually, wait. Well, no, I don't think it counts because I had posted about a Warrior Cats project, and I ended up getting like on the project, but it's not paid, so I don't think it
Oh
counts.
yeah.
You
One of
advertise to
those
yourself.
Yeah.
one of those volunteer fan project kind of things.
Which I'm so excited because like I never did it as a kid, and I always wanted to, and now I like get to do one, and I'm so excited.
Ah, yeah, yeah.
That's awesome. I think I remember
Yeah.
I did like not like fully animated or whatever, but it was
Yeah,
like
you did a
it was like
PMV, didn't you?
uh, it was like I remember there was one I did relating to Blackfoot / Blackstar, and then like that one actually got like compiled, and then I think there's one that I did for Spotted Leaf, and no, it was
Ooh.
like for Evil Spotted Leaf AU too,
Oh,
but
that's cool.
like okay, I know that probably sounded like gibberish to like 99% of the people listening, but like if you know, you know.
Yep.
Yeah, if you don't know, get culture.
Anyway, I made a part for that, but I don't think it ever got compiled.
Oh, okay. That's fair. I think there was one other map that I did a part for in college, but I never finished it because I think the map ended up falling through. I should find that because it's actually very good, and I should finish it, even though.
Is it the one with the zombie song?
Yes, yes, it is.
Yes.
I need to find that. It's in my files somewhere, and I even had a professor look at it, and I was like, "Can you tell me what sucks about this?" And he's like, "It actually doesn't suck, but like change this." And I was like, "All right, cool." But I never finished it.
Please, can we get a
But
clip of that put in
I
here? Editor, please.
I will see if I can find it.
It's so good. I love that.
I think it was like a what was it? It was Gray Stripe and Silver Stream map, I think. Yeah.
everyone's favorite tragic couple.
Yeah. The one I'm
The only
working on
crime,
is a oh, go ahead, sorry.
I say the only crime is that Grey Strip had good taste.
And he married like two other cats after. I was like, this man is for the metaphorical streets or the woods, I guess. I
This
don't
man
know.
is for the Thunder Path.
Like I
This man is for
remember
the Thunderbat.
the sibling like sent me like some meme about frick, it was like when he met Silverstream for the first time, and like you know it's kind of insinuated that like river clan cats are like totally built because they swim all the time,
Oh
and
my
it's like one where it's like gosh dang, because like
God.
she's like freaking a Muslim mommy or something.
Oh my god. Say that on this. I don't know. Who cares? We'll edit it out later. We can. But
You don't
it's
have
fine.
to.
Yeah. I mean, because it was Silverstream, and then I think Daisy was his second quote unquote wife, and I'm pretty sure they broke up, even though like he had
They
kids with
did?
her. I have to wait. I have to
I don't I
because the girlies are gonna
I
come
know
after
that
me in
Grey
the
Stripe
comments if
like
I don't get this
went
right.
through like a line of women, but I don't remember breakups being the reason why he moved on. I thought they just
Hold on.
died. No, because
Hold on,
it
I'm
was
looking.
Millie. Wasn't it freaking Millie?
Oh yeah, Millie and then Daisy. I'm pretty sure. I'm like, hold
What happened
on.
with Millie?
Hold up.
Oh
Hold
man,
up.
trying to
I'm
recall these
consulting. I'm
facts is so
consulting
long
the
ago.
Warrior Cats.
Because that's when
Yeah.
he got lost. And then
Yeah,
hold on. Oh wait, no, I lied. I'm sorry, I lied on my man's. It was not Daisy. My bad. It was Millie. I think
Lied on
is
my
he
man.
still dating her? Hold on. I know I didn't just hallucinate that. Hold on.
Wait, is he still alive? Like, I know the Warriors has progressed quite a bit since the last time I
I
read it.
the last time I read it was the Dark Forest versus StarClan battle where spoiler alert, Firestar finally kicks the bucket.
Let's go.
Uh
I mean, I'm so sorry.
honestly, it was really weird after he died because I think Brambleclaw became leader and he was just weird.
Yeah, I don't know if I vibe with that necessarily.
I feel like he apparently okay, Daisy did not date Graystripe, but apparently she had a crush on Cloudtail, but she backed off because we all know that's Brightheart's man. But yeah, anyway, that has
welcome to the
nothing to do
podcast.
with the topic of
Yeah,
this
I like how
podcast.
we're like today we're gonna talk about game dev. Anyway, Warrior Cats.
Sorry.
It's actually tangentially related because in Noiramore Academy, there's a girl that's basically based on the Warrior Cats girls.
Oh my
Nice.
gosh, that's so base.
Oh my gosh, you guys see the thing on the Instagram where it's like the girl who's pretending to be like the wolf girl, and she's like acting as cringe as possible. Have you guys seen those videos?
I've seen those
No.
videos, yeah.
Are those
I was
videos where she
her.
like where like the
She's
girl like
hopping
jumps
up and
back and
down.
forth? Yeah.
I literally was that girl though. Like on the playground, we had like a whole clan, and I was like I was the leader, I think, and it was actually pretty cool. Actually, I would do it again.
That's just the joy of being a kid, you know.
Yeah.
And the character, her name is Gina, but she reads a book series called The Warrior Bats. So she's wearing
Copyright
fake
infringement
wings.
proof.
Oh my
She's wearing
gosh.
fake wings and she has like little fangs. Yeah,
Her
Oh
first
my
sure.
god, this is my favorite character now.
That is so amazing.
And we got like this perfect voice actress for her. We told her like, okay, when you're voice acting her, try to act like a well-behaved cave woman. Like you're trying to have this gruff bat voice, but also like she's so intelligent, right? So the voice actress, she's also like a teenager. She did such a really good job. It's gonna be great to show you guys the clips of that once that's ready to show.
I think civilized cave woman is the best voice direction I've ever heard in my life.
For real.
Would she get like those like tattoos that people got, like the book Tumblr type tattoo where it's like the freaking like Harry Potter symbol with like the other
Seen
whatever
those?
it's called?
Oh my god.
She would be totally the type to do that. She's like a drama, basically she's a drama kid, and like her play has cast her as a like very minor role as like a bat. And so she goes like full into, now she's method acting, and she's read like the 50 book Warrior Bat series. And
I love
and
that.
now now she's made Judith a part of her clan, the Nightclaw clan.
Oh
Oh
my
my
god.
goodness.
And when are we starting the RP server and making our own bat clans?
Oh my gosh.
And it's ironic because I've literally never read a Warrior Cats book, but I feel like I identify, and I would have been one if I had read them.
Yes,
I would
oh my
say
gosh.
fix it, but
Yes.
also like the books are kind of not that great if you read them when you're older.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I assumed that. It's like I had a brony phase instead, so that was some interesting time.
I'm so sorry.
I feel like
At least the Warrior Cats fandom is filled with girls.
that's true. Oh my gosh. I think I had my brony phase like in college, I think.
Yeah. It comes for all of us, you know.
I'm running.
It is inevitable.
Hold on, guys. Y'all keep yapping.
Okay. Oh man. Yep.
But that's basically like how I got my start like online, like doing online creative stuff. I used to be like really into like Star Wars fandom and like Transformers, but then when I got online I discovered like the My Little Pony fandom, and I was like, My Little Pony is for little girls. I'm too old for this. And then I actually watched an episode, I was like, oh, this is actually really cute. And then I kept watching. And then I like uploaded this video that was all about like headcanons of like the royalty characters, and then for some reason that video got like millions of views, and then I was like,
goodness.
I was in middle school, I was like, what do I do?
Holy moly.
That's
Was
your
I middle-
career right there.
Yeah. And then at that point I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna start making up a whole bunch of like headcanon fanfiction story time, like backstory videos for all these different characters, and so I kept doing that. And then that's how I got like 100,000 subscribers. And then I was like, you know what? I'm done with ponies now. I'm a high schooler. I'm like a senior in high school now, so I'm gonna write my own story. And so I started writing Dragon Queen, and I made like narrated videos about that. And people were really liking that. Like it was starting to get its own fandom. But then I'm like graduating high school, and I'm like, this is high school level writing. I don't know if I want to continue this, so I decided to like try to reboot it. But then a whole bunch of stuff happened. College, I ended up writing like another book that was like a mystery paranormal story that I still want to continue, but I wasn't making like any money doing writing, and then no one wanted to publish it, and I was like, yeah, probably fair enough.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Actually, the reason why like Spectral Lakes never got picked up by a publisher because they said this is too short for a young adult series. Even though for me the entire point was that it was like short episodic type of storytelling, and they were like, nah, we don't do that. And I'm like, okay.
Wow.
Oh, huh. Interesting.
It was kind of
Just
supposed
make
to
your
be
own
kind of
tag
like
on like. Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, just make your own like tag on AO3 or something and call it a day.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like
I
it's
also
easier to
like
self-publish. Sorry.
Yeah, I did self-publish, but again, I wasn't making like any money, and at this point, I was like in college, and like I have to actually be able to pay off student loans. So, a lot of people have asked me about like why I'm not continuing my books right now, and that's kind of the main reason why. Is just I needed to find something so that I'd be able to actually like live off of my own art. So I had even like pitched to Adult Swim to have Spectral Lakes as like a TV show. I went on their like
holy moly, are you serious?
No, it wasn't that like basically they have like a live stream show. They used to have, maybe I don't know if they still do it. They had like a live stream show where you can like go on and then pitch to people live. So it was like 15 minutes or something where you have to pitch. So I did that, and obviously I was like in college. They probably like, oh, what's she even doing here? But
That's
I tried
really
my
cool,
best.
though.
Yeah, that's very cool though.
Holy
Yeah.
crap!
It was still a good experience, though, that's for sure. And people in the comment section of the live chat were super positive, too. But Adult Swim just doesn't really do drama shows. They're only really focused on comedy, and that's kind of, I think, what they told me.
Yeah, I think I was gonna say I'm pretty sure most of the stuff on Adult Swim is just comedy, which sucks because I feel like there's a huge
Primal.
market for serious adult
Primal.
shows.
So, like, respectfully,
Totally.
how did we get multiple seasons of Rick and Morty, but not this? I would much rather watch this. Like,
Yeah.
To be fair, in hindsight, though, I wasn't very experienced at all, and I even tried, like, after that, having a Kickstarter to, like, fund a first, like, pilot episode, but it totally flopped, and part of that was, again, my own fault of bad promotion, and the animation I did wasn't very good. I kind of had this mindset of, like, oh, I won't be the one animating it. I'm doing the directing and the writing and all of that.
Wait, we might have to talk about this because
yeah, I was
like
gonna say, what? We can animate it. Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
But I was like so unexperienced with doing flash animation that like but it was kind of like not a good idea for me to say like, oh, I'll just pay people to do it, but not really have a hand in it myself. So I think that was part of my kind of hubris in that first Kickstarter.
Interesting.
How long
Interesting.
ago
Okay.
was that? Because I don't remember. Like, this is the
Citrine,
first time
wait,
I've
get
heard
the
of
questions.
this.
Get the questions.
I think that one was in 2018. It was probably like my
wow.
first or second year in college, because I remember doing like a game development class where we had to make like some kind of little thing, and I used like a visual novel program
yeah.
to make
Visual novel.
I used a visual novel program to make like the an introduction to that story. But this was before I knew anything about 3D. Once I went through the 3D class and like some more game development stuff in my school, I was suddenly like, hold on, I can do 3D? This is like an option that I have? And I was
Real.
obviously not great at first,
Make
but
it out of blocks.
I know, it's like Minecraft, but better. So I started like just getting more and more invested in the 3D stuff, and there was this character I'd made called Mariposa, and she literally was like spawned from just listening to these songs that I liked, like some I think mystery magical musical songs and like some League of Legends songs.
Let's go.
And I was just thinking about
Arcane.
Oh my god, you're such a tourist.
Tangle.
Yes,
Tangle.
I lost myself. I don't want to play
I was
League of
there
Legends.
when Jinx was released, or at least right after she was released.
Oh my god, we are in the presence of royalty. Let's go.
I'm an old guard of the League of Legends.
I am a tourist. I'm
when I
proud of
started
it.
playing, I think the most recent champion was Jin when I got into the game.
Oh, I loved that release. They did like really cool teasers for him too, like
it was
beforehand.
so cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad you enjoy League, Citrine, but I hope that phase never comes back because it was terrible for everybody else involved.
Understandable.
I have to fight to not return to that game.
Because, like, all you did was be in your room all the time. I would just hear you shouting, and we never hung out ever. And I was like, well, all right.
Yeah, no,
Wow.
I don't see that phase coming back for quite a while.
I mean, I think I did try League of Legends once because, I mean, I can spoil this because we are nowhere near getting this project off the ground. So I think I can spoil a little bit of it.
Yeah, but we should. But anyway, go ahead.
I mean, we honestly, I need to think of some questions for InkRose because I didn't know that she had tried animation stuff before. But there's this series that eventually we will make that basically is like, it's basically the concept is like it's a sports anime, but it's like esports because I don't care about any real sports.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I wanted to play League because the main game, if lawyers are listening, it is not based off of League of Legends. For everybody else listening, it is based off
It
of League of
very much
Legends.
is.
So I wanted to play like a match or two to try to understand the game so that I could write about it a little bit better. And I don't think I even ever made it to like online play. I think I was playing
No,
against
it
bots
was
the
it
whole
was
time.
versus bots, yeah. Just to like just so you had like an idea of what was going on, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did play a teeny bit of League, but I never got sucked in like that until
Yeah.
Arcane. I love Arcane so much.
Oh my gosh, that's what's so crazy about Arcane. It just like we'd been begging for years for like more lore that was done in a TV show like format, and my favorite character always was Jinx ever since the start.
Let's go.
Because that's when I started the game, was like right after she'd been released, and when I saw her like splash like at the beautiful like After Effects animation of her splash art, I was like, yo, that's so cool. And then I watched her music video and I was like, yo, she's so cool. And then she was like my main for years. And when I saw like their first TV show would be about her, and it was like in the hand painted cool art style, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
And it was actually really good, and I could show it to my mom and she would be interested in it too. Like, oh, that's impossible.
Yeah, it's like if you ever mained Caitlyn, Jinx, Vi, or Warwick, you are eating right now. I'm a Warwick main, so I'm just like, yes.
Oh my gosh, yes, especially with season 2 coming up.
Yes!
I'm
With
so
Norway.
excited. I'm literally so excited.
People ask me like, "Hey, like, what character are you into with Arcane?" I'm looking at the cast and I go, none of these." But then Warwick's on the horizon. I'm like, hello,
Yeah, that's my boy.
Yeah.
Literally, Vi is me. I love her. We are the same. I love her.
Her design is just so great too. She was also one of the ones I like to play a lot.
Society, if I looked like her. Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
But like, it's like I also was starting to get more into League of Legends at that time in college, and a lot of it too was just my admiration for the artists working on that game. The splash art and like the skin models were super inspiring to me. So I decided like as I was learning 3D, I want to make models kind of like the League of Legends style because I really enjoy their modeling style. I was like watching some videos on how they were doing some of this stuff. I was kind of looking a bit at World of Warcraft. I played some of it, but I wasn't like super into it. But I really liked the kind of art style of it. So I studied a lot of that type stuff. But in college, I wasn't taught like texturing like at all. My school was pretty, like my teachers were passionate. They were trying, but no one else was trying very hard. And the school itself was giving like, I was in Houston, and no game developers wanted to move to Houston to become a teacher because there's nothing in game dev happening in Houston at all.
Really?
Oh.
Isn't like Houston like a tech center?
Oh no, that's Austin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
My
like
cat
there's
was meowing
nothing
in the mic, sorry.
happening. Houston is like medical, oil, and gas. That's it.
I was gonna say I would assume you probably have more luck if any in Austin. Get out of here.
Yeah,
No, let her stay.
but
Let her
Austin
stay.
She's being a
also has
nuisance.
its own problems, especially with like cost of living and stuff.
Yeah, I heard it's really
Yeah.
expensive to live there.
Yeah, but my teachers did try, and then there was one teacher, especially he was the one that taught me like how to do like box modeling of characters, and that's how I got started. I made like some of my characters from Spectral Lakes and stuff, and then my mom like hosted this kind of game dev jam thing because she was trying to bring more kind of game dev tech stuff into Houston, and she like worked with like healthcare companies to try to make this kind of healthcare game jam that focuses on games that can like help you make it more fun to like be reminded when you need to take your medication, or like help kids understand what they need to do to help care for their bodies when they're going through different health issues, things like that. So she was trying to kind of start something in Houston with that healthcare game jam, and I was able to work on some of those projects as well, which was really fun, and I learned a lot more about that kind of stuff too. But as I was in college, and I had that kind of Mariposa character in my head, I was like, she would be really perfect to make like a video game out of, because like when I'm thinking about, you know, Mario Galaxy, and I was really into like Psychonauts and A Hat in Time at that time, I was like, I really want to make just like a fun, cute platforming game. And the first model I made with Mariposa was one of my first character models, and it was so ugly. But I realized that I kind of had to figure out what kind of art style I wanted to choose for this game, and I did like a couple different like style tests, and I was looking at like Disney princesses and like Monster High and Skullgirls kind of thing. And then eventually I kind of settled
I can
on
see the influence.
Oh yeah, definitely. I was like really trying hard to figure out something that I could kind of naturally do while also making the characters. Originally the style was like chibi, but I just realized that wouldn't work, especially with like some of the male characters, how I wanted them to look. So eventually I was able to settle on a kind of Monster High / my style, I guess, like a mix between the two. Mm-hmm. And I made a model from that one, but that model still wasn't the best either. And just kept evolutioning on that idea. And my friend Jonathan, he was also learning a lot about Unreal at the time. My friend Caius, he was learning a lot about Unreal Engine at the time. So we were kind of working together and like, hey, what if we make a game with this Mariposa character? So we were figuring that out. And one of the coolest things that happened was when I was able to get as like a Christmas present, my mom was like, hey, let's do a mentorship with that Riot artist you like, Katya Burikina. She was one of the lead skin artists for the 3D models on League of Legends. So I was like, what? That's so cool. So I had like a small mentorship with her where she kind of helped guide me during the process of making the updated Mariposa model. And she did a few kind of paint overs that I'd followed, and like was helping guide me on learning 3D Coat better. And so that was really cool. And that's when I started to get more confident in like, I want to do more 3D stuff. I think I can actually do this now.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
Doing so much stuff. I feel like I'm like a celebrity or something. I'm like, yo.
Holy crap.
That's so cool.
We are in the presence of a legend. Holy moly.
Thanks.
I send this legend cringe TF2 memes.
It's the best. There was like a time when I really wanted to work at Valve, and now it's like I still want to work at Valve, but they don't really do cartoon stuff anymore. But then I'm like, oh wait, Deadlock! Oh my god!
Oh yeah,
wait, Deadlock is Valve? Wait, Valve is making games still?
The least neurodivergent moment of this podcast. Go ahead.
Wow.
It's in like, Deadlock is in like super early access right now. Like you have to get invited by somebody else. One of my friends invited me. That's the only reason why I have access.
Yeah. I've been playing some of it. Like I haven't had much time because I'm trying to finish Noiramore in time for the Kickstarter. But I've been playing it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, stylized character design at Valve again. Maybe I have a chance.
I want to try it so bad, but I'm like, when I'm really into competitive games, I think I'm a worse person. So I'm like, like I need to drip feed myself Deadlock so I don't like start no-lifing it.
To be fair, because it's in like such an early state right now, it's not like super competitive. It's more just like people are experimenting and having fun. So it's almost like the best time to start getting into one of those games.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to.
The character design is so fun. Right? One of my favorites is like this golem girl. She's like what's the word for like the gargoyle? She's like a gargoyle that came to life, and then but she's like wearing this little beret and has like this bow and arrow kind of shooting gun thing. She's such a like a fun little character, and then there's like all these. Anyway, it's pretty fun, and it's great to see Valve doing more stuff like that, especially with the potential leaks of Half-Life 3 happening with the Half-Life Alyx team.
What?
Yeah, I know there's been like leaks like that in the past, but Half-Life Alyx actually did happen, and this is the same team that did Alyx, so we'll see. Okay. I'm excited.
We all know that it's just gonna that the next Half-Life is gonna be Skibbity Half-Life.
What?
It's so hilarious and sad to me that like people now know like G-Man more from Skibbity Toilet than they do from Half-Life.
I guess it all comes full circle. Every generation learns about TF2 and Half-Life in the most weird way.
Yeah. I like learned about like TF2 and stuff from My Little Pony, and I learned about Fallout and Skyrim. I learned about Fallout and Skyrim and Pony and Portal from My Little Pony crossovers. So you know.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, did you ever watch the freaking? Did you watch the two Best Sisters play videos?
I did. That's how I learned about Resident Evil 4.
Oh my goodness
gracious! So weird how like. How much like stupid pony crossovers made me learn about like really good video games.
That was like really everything funny. I know about My Little Pony. Actually, I ended up learning because I was really into the horror game Amnesia at the time, and they were doing like the custom maps. And there was this one that was just themed around My Little Pony, and so I'm like, everything I know about G5 G4, it just all came from that.
Is that the one with like Fluttershy?
Yeah,
like the monster.
Little horse. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
I think I jumped into G5.
Like pony creepypasta too.
The internet is a weird place.
It was.
Man, oh man.
Yeah, I jumped into G5 because like I knew the brony stuff existed, but literally everyone I will not say literally everyone. Most people that I've encountered from that fandom are weird in a very bad way. So I just kind of like had decided to stay away from it. But I forget why I even decided to watch the movie that was on Netflix. I think someone that I followed had done some like viz dev work for it. But I was like, shoot, whatever. I'll just watch it. Fine. I'm a college age woman. I'll watch it. I don't care. So I watched it and I really liked it. And I was like, oh, holy crap. I actually kind of like this a lot.
Wait, are we talking about the two? Okay, you guys keep saying G4 and G5, and I keep getting confused. Did you watch like the freaking 2D animated movie or like the Super one?
I think G4 was the really popular show that was in Flash.
Yeah,
that's what most people know when they do My Little Pony. And then G4 or G5 is the next generation, which it started with the 3D movie, which I think it has a 2D show now.
I
thought the show was also 3D.
I think there's like a kind of like a there is a 3D show, but I think there's also like a kind of a chibi-ish kind of short version, 2D one. The art style for it is kind of I really don't like it. I haven't really watched anything G5. I just watched like some reviews about the movie. I'm really
why don't they just copy the other art style? Like it has a lot of universal appeal. I don't know why they didn't just do that.
I don't know. The Lauren Faust art style for that show was like the reason I think why it became so big. I mean that and the show was like didn't treat its audience like idiots either. I think that's one of the biggest reasons why it ended up getting so popular too. It's just like a cute, fun cartoon show that is like on the same kind of level of like Powerpuff Girls, or because like Lauren Faust worked on it.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's kind of one of the big things that a lot of people would talk about is when it first came out. I remember like being there for the kind of thing. I think the tail end of season 1 and waiting for the season 2. I can't believe it's been 10 years. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Nothing makes you feel old quite like looking up something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I saw a tweet about regular show. It was like the 10th anniversary or something, and I was like, oh god, I can't handle that right now.
Yeah.
I was freaking like I was at the movie. Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I was at the movie a few days ago. I was watching the new Alien Romulus movie, and like at the end it says like, oh, produced by what's his name, Ridley Scott, and I look over to my friend and I just go, he's still alive? Ridley Scott, I'm sorry. You just kind of I just kind of assumed.
Mm-hmm.
My bad for assuming you were literally dead.
But that fandom, oh lord, yeah, there was a lot of weird stuff. Like, and sometimes in hindsight, when you're like a teenager, some things you don't realize are as weird as they are. But as the more I got older, the more I was like, I'm not really into this show anymore. I have some good memories of it. And I did meet some very kind people and some very nice people in that fandom. But now I'm like, I'm kind of done with it now. I kind of want to play like Fallout and Skyrim and
Okay, so I have to ask you the most important question.
Oh yeah?
Are you team Fallout New Vegas or are you team Fallout 4?
I'm an idiot that hasn't finished New Vegas yet.
Oh my goodness. This interview is over.
I know. 3 was the first one I played.
Okay, that's based though. 3 was also my first, yeah.
3 was the first one, then I played 4. In hindsight, I understand a lot of the critiques of 4. I guess 4 is kind of my favorite gameplay-wise, which I guess a lot of people would agree with.
Yeah, I think that's perfectly reasonable.
And I think it's my favorite, like, exploration-wise, like, too. One of the things I just really like about those games is, like, exploration and, like, finding the little stories that's, like, hidden in the environments and stuff, but in hindsight, like, 4's main story is just not that great, which sucks. But
yeah, that is where New Vegas shines. It has the story.
Literally everything I've played from New Vegas so far, I'm like, oh, this is great. But then for some reason, like, I think it was because I started playing it during 2020. Like,
yeah,
I never ended up finishing it, and I gotta finish it right now. I'm like I'm like trying to like make sure that I finish whatever game I start. So I'm like on the warpath of finishing Persona 3. So.
Oh man, I need to play the Persona games
They
because I have
freaking Reloaded or whatever.
Yeah, I'm playing Reloaded. Yeah.
3 and 4 and 5, and I need to play them because I've been told they're at least visual novel adjacent, and also I don't know, they just look good visually. I'm like, yeah, I gotta try these.
Yeah, I mean, if you can like start with the normal combat if you want, but if you're not a fan of the combat, you can like put it to super easy mode and you'll be good. If you just like want to stick around for the visual novel elements.
Which play ST like a real JRPG player.
Because sometimes
she's
the combat
Bravely Default. I think she's good as far as like qualifications for JRPG.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness gracious! Yeah, Bravely Default.
I don't even think I got halfway through that game because I don't understand the combat system at all.
What do you mean? You don't want to sit around and grind enemies for 20+ hours? What do you mean?
I'll do it in Pokemon then. I don't want to do it in Bravely Default.
Also, I will say the Bravely Default system, and they did fix this in Octopath Traveler, but like in Bravely Default and Bravely Second, there is no reason not to just store up your BP and then blow it all in 4 moves in 1 turn. There's no strategic advantage to doing anything but that. Like, you just have to do it that way. So it's like, I do love Bravely Default, though. It's a good game.
I have to play that one.
It's so good.
My first like non-Pokemon turn-based game was Fire Emblem Awakening, which I think Josh introduced me to that one, and I was like, "Are you sure I'll like this? I don't know if I like turn-based." And then I started playing it. I was like, "Crom is so cute. I'm gonna keep playing this game."
Oh my god,
so based, yes.
Okay, wait, but in the Childhood Crushes one that probably will hopefully be released by the time this one comes out, Crom was one of them.
Yes.
No,
like my first anime crush.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh.
But that game was so fun, and especially if you play as like female Robin and like romance Crom, and then I don't even spoil like how that makes the story like so much better because it connects everything together when you do that though. Like if you know what I mean when it comes to Lucina and everything is connected.
I'm vaguely aware of the story because my friend is upset.
I don't even know. I'm glad y'all are you winning?
I have to make you play Awakening.
Oh gosh, no, you're already making me play Danganronpa 3 and I already don't want to play that. So.
I played all 3 of those like 2 years ago. What's so funny? Oh my god, guys. My first introduction to Danganronpa was in the My Little Pony.
Oh my god. I'm sensing a pattern here.
The story is so like what year was it? Like 2014? It's so like 2014. So basically, one of my friends, one of my like brony of YouTuber friends, we were like in like a whole Skype group together. We would like just talk about like different media stuff. She was like, "Hey, we should do like a Halloween collab where we do like a Danganronpa situation where my character is like the bear, and then you guys will get like killed maybe." And I'm like, "Whoa, that sounds hilarious."
Wait, how do we go from speed to bear?
Because she
had at Mach speed.
Because like in 2014, especially, like all of YouTubers had these like personas who were like, and what if someone had like an edgy persona? Like remember like the creepy Markiplier persona or whatever?
Oh god!
Oh my god!
So she had like a creepy, Darkiplier type of thing. And so she had like a creepy persona version of her character. It was so like fun at the time. It's like so cringe in hindsight, but it was so fun at the time, and she was so fun to work with. She was great.
I got like a PTSD flashback because I know he used to do like those videos with Darkiplier where he's like, I'm gonna get you or like whatever, and I'm just,
the whole like
I was younger. I kind of took it seriously, but I'm thinking about it now and I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, because it was like the whole, here's Darkiplier, and then like here's Wilford Warfstache, and like the whole cast of characters, and it's just Markiplier over and over and over again.
It's very 2010s, was it?
Yeah.
It's very 2010s.
That was such an era.
Yeah.
And then so we ended up doing this whole collab together where she set it up like this whole like pony trivia show, and if you got the answers wrong, your character would die in like a Danganronpa execution. And she like fully animated them too. Like, well, not like fully animated, but like using like After Effects kind of thing. And then so I was like, wow, this is great, but I don't know anything about Danganronpa. So she sat me down and showed me the first season of the anime, and I was like, this is like the first anime I've ever watched.
Oh my gosh. Wait, have you not played the game?
I have now. Like 2 years ago, I actually played the game. But I actually ended up really enjoying them despite like how cringy the fandom is.
Yeah, it's one of those fandoms for sure.
Oh my god, yeah.
Everything I've seen from the fandom before Citrine made me play the first 2 games, I was like, I don't think I ever want to be involved in this, and then you got into it.
And then you actually play the game and you're like, this is pretty fun.
Yeah, you get sucked in. It's like...
Yeah, like these I actually care about these characters. Yeah. I mean, there's some stuff I don't like.
Oh,
but
yeah, for sure. For sure.
Especially like the second and third
game. being one of them. But...
Oh my god, yeah. And the second game, it gets even worse with some of that stuff. But there's other stuff where I'm like, oh, this is fun and I care about these characters. And the mysteries are intriguing and like they're wacky, but in kind of a fun way. And but like for the Halloween collab, I watched the first season of the anime and I was like, I've never like watched anime before. This is so fascinating.
That is your first anime is wild.
Wait.
Yeah, I know, right?
It was anime when? Which year was this?
My parents did not have me watch anime. They didn't know like what it was.
Oh my god.
I was like maybe 15 or 16.
Oh, okay.
Oh gosh.
I think it was either Attack on Titan or Danganronpa. That was the first one. But,
Attack on Titan, that's very based.
That was when I was like watching it for the first time, I was like, an animation for adults that's not just Family Guy? What?
What? Yeah.
My mind was blown.
Did you watch the finale for the show?
I literally haven't though. I know there's like a whole controversy about it. I have to like watch it. I think I've watched I still have to maybe the last season to finish.
I will not spoil anything, but I personally liked the ending. I get why people don't like the ending, but I think it's a fitting ending for the concept the author was going for. I think it was a good ending. I know Yonder or Cranky does not agree with me.
I can hear her tweaking over there.
Maybe it's a similar thing to like the Hunger Games ending where a lot of people don't like it, but I personally think it's fine. I like it.
Me, it's just pacing.
The Hunger Games ending? Because I read the books when I was a kid, but I was a dumb kid, so I was like, oh, the shipping, so I wasn't really like the socio-political. I need to go back and reread it, because I need to put some respect on Suzanne Collins' name, because apparently it is very good, but I was like 12, so.
I read it in middle school, and I personally really liked the ending, but I can understand for pacing reasons, maybe.
Oh, no, I meant pacing as far as Attack on Titan. I don't know anything about it.
I haven't seen it.
I do need to make you watch Attack on Titan though, Citrine, because it's very good.
Oh yeah, it's fascinating. I don't even know how to describe like the appeal of it. It's just like really. I wouldn't even say like it's like super character based. I love all the characters. It's more just like really good kind of plotting and setups and payoffs. Like really good setups and payoffs and intriguing mysteries, I suppose. Like
I think the mystery element of it is really what kept me hooked for a lot of it, because I was just like, what does this mean, or why are they doing this, or why is this like this? And it's like the author like slowly rolls it out to you, and you kind of learn, and the more you learn, like the more interesting it becomes. It's very fascinating. I like it.
Yeah, definitely.
It like slowly becomes more and more of a political drama, and that's I found myself really liking that genre. If it's in like a non like typical modern setting, because I guess that's Hawk shooting me or whatever. But if it's like,
honestly,
this is like fantasy Japan or fantasy Germany, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm suddenly intrigued now.
It sucks because like I really enjoyed. I mean, I don't know if this is a hot take or not, but like I really enjoyed The Boys up until recently, just because it kind of got a little too. How do I say this without getting this podcast canceled? Let me think. Hold on.
Choose your words very carefully.
It got a little too on the nose for me, I think, because I think it's a very interesting. Like I know a lot of people I know are like, The Boys is so much gore and violence. Why would you watch it? But I'm like, I'm not watching it for that. Yeah, it has a lot of that. Honestly, I only really watched it when I was like messed up emotionally too, which probably doesn't help. But I think it's just really interesting because it's kind of it starts out as kind of an exploration of like what superheroes would be like if they existed in our society. And like it's more of like a critique of celebrity culture with like they're basically just celebrities with superpowers. So like all the baggage that comes with like being a celebrity but being able to like lift a building or kill 10,000 people at once, which I thought was very fascinating. But it kind of it fell off. I'm gonna be honest, it fell off a little bit. I might finish it, but I'm like, bro kind of fell off. I'm not gonna lie.
Wow, it's like that. Okay.
I believe you.
It's one of those things where I'm kind of interested in it. Same with like Game of Thrones, where I'm kind of interested in the idea of it, but it's like it's just like too much for me.
It's a lot. Like I could only really watch it. Like if I was in a good mood and everything in my life was going well, I can't watch it. If I'm like kind of depressed and I don't want to do substance abuse, then I would just watch The Boys instead.
Wow.
Amazon Prime abuse.
Yeah, so that's
I would definitely say if you guys haven't watched it yet, Invincible is probably
like one of my. Okay. I love Invincible.
Once again, not seen it.
I love Invincible.
Yeah, it's on the list.
For me, that's like the kind of take on like sort of this idea of like evil Superman or like kind of gory superheroes. But I really, really like how it's done. Like it doesn't feel just like I hate superhero stories, so I'm gonna write this story where they're all bad or something, which was kind of what the original Boys comic was. By the way, though I heard the show is better than the comic, but
I've heard. Okay, I only know a little bit about the comic, but from what I've seen of the comic, I'm like, I think the show does a lot better of a job.
Yeah. But with Invincible, it's like written by a guy that likes superhero comics. He just wanted to like have his own take on it. And it's great. And I ended up like reading the whole comic, and there's some stuff that I don't really like, but the show has been like changing some certain stuff, so I wonder like what might happen with those in the future. But even then, the comic is still like really interesting, and like I'm really excited to see some of this stuff fully animated and voice acted. There was like some parts in the comic where I'm like, man, I cannot wait to hear the voice actors tackle this part. It's gonna be awesome.
Nice. I haven't seen a lot from the comic. I've seen some YouTube shorts that do concern me a little. It's like it's those ones where it's like, did you know in the Invincible comic? And they'll just say they'll say something really crazy, and I was like, they really let bro print this? Like I don't think that was a good idea.
Oh my gosh!
Doesn't make it to the show. To be honest,
there's definitely a scene like that I think is infamous at this point. I will say, in the comic, it is. I think it's handled pretty well. At least better than I've heard The Boys handles it. It will. I don't know how. Oh yeah, I don't even know. all I'll say is that I think the comic does handle it pretty respectfully. But it's definitely a hard read though.
Yeah, I'm scared because I've seen a couple reels and I'm not even sure that that's what you're even talking about. So now I have an additional fear.
Well, there's another one that I don't think was handled very well, but I don't know if they'll actually change that. Anyway, I don't know. All I'll say is that it does have. Wait, should I even say that? I don't know if that's even considered a spoiler, but I think it ends well. I think it ends well. I like the ending.
All I know is that there is a big fight that Battle Cat is in that is like Super Giga Chad versus Giga Chad, and that's all I care about.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That is a very, very good fight.
Giga Chad v Giga Chad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, but I guess speaking of the kind of like, I guess I'm just going through the story of game dev past.
Yeah.
After I was kind of like toying around with Mariposa more, and I finally got the handle of like the art style of it. I finally got Caius and I like finished this whole huge demo that's sort of supposed to be like the prologue of the game, and we kind of had this big Kickstarter campaign, and like we're wanting to fund the rest of this cool platformer game. We reached out to like tons of YouTubers through email, trying to get someone to like play them. We used like even this kind of key mailing website to send out like keys to people to get them to play it, help promote it. And quite a few people did play it, but unfortunately no one that had like a big enough of an audience to get anyone to like click on the link, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And the Kickstarter ended up failing, and then at that point I was like, oh my god, what do I do? I gotta pay people to be able to work on this, and I don't know what to do. I was just kind of like stuck. I kept trying to apply for jobs in game dev. Nothing ever worked out. I was able to thankfully get some contract work, but it was not nearly enough to like live off of.
Mm-hmm.
So as I was going through college, I think I was just about graduated at that point. I was like, I'm gonna work on a smaller game set in the same universe, called The Fantastic Kitty Roo, and that'll be like a little visual novel rhythm game because she's like a little dancer, so that makes sense. So then we started working on that, and I was looking for I needed some help with environment art because it was starting to become really hard to get our December deadline with all the environment art that needed to be done for all these various places. So I sent out a job alert because my mom was like, okay, I'll help you out paying someone for the rest of this time to get so that this game gets done.
Mom, TBH.
It was very, very kind of her because we were still going through some financial stuff, but she was like, I'm gonna help you out. Thanks, Mom.
Shout out to InkRose's mom.
Yeah.
That's really nice of you to do.
For real.
And we were able to find, I think Tangle, you said you found that post, right?
Because I followed you on Twitter for a hot minute, and I think I saw some of the Kitty Roo posts when you were in development. I was like, oh, this is interesting. Like, the style is really interesting. So yeah, and I always try to keep an eye out for job postings for both games and animation. So yeah.
And then Cranky applied, and she became a member of our team. And it was great.
Yeah.
Happy ending.
So, at that point, then, we just kept working hard on it, and I was having a lot of fun, like, making all these character models, and, I was starting to, like, get more into doing 3D animation, because I kind of had to. It was something I was really scared of. I'd done,
Real.
Yeah, really.
Very
I
real.
was pretty scared. I was, like, so scared of it. I'd done, like, some stuff for Mariposa, but it wasn't very good. Like, most of what I had done was just her movement animations, and then, like, some very basic dialogue poses. That just moving, like, up and down slightly, like you're in a fighting game or something. A fighting game idol. But that was about it. I was really scared to like do anything more complicated than that because I thought I wouldn't be like capable of it. But I kind of had to force myself to learn more because, you know, I had to do it for Kitty Roo.
Yeah.
Kitty Roo needs to have little dancing animations for the rhythm game segment. So I just popped up a bunch of videos of like dancing and tap dancing and stuff, and I clipped them and put them in Blender and just kind of used them as reference, followed along, and I was like, wait, these actually look semi-decent. Wow,
Nice,
I can do it. So that kind of gave me a confidence boost, and then I released the game and sent out keys using this key site to a bunch of people, and we got like almost no sales.
Oh
And I was
no!
like, oh no! Now what do I do? And that was in December, so that Christmas was kind of hard.
Oh my gosh.
And so at this point I was like, well, how am I going to make like any money for out of my art, cuz my YouTube channel is failing now. Because now that I'm doing original stuff, like people aren't really interested that much anymore. I still had like a core fan base that has been really kind and like been helping me out, seeing me through, but unfortunately, like those 100,000 subscribers, so many of them are probably dead now, or because of YouTube's awful updates, they probably don't even see my videos anymore at all in their subscriptions.
Oh yeah.
Right.
So I was having like a really tough time. Like I felt like, oh, I'm a complete failure now. Like I had that opportunity and then I squandered it because I didn't continue with Dragon Queen. That one was actually getting some attention, but and then felt like, oh, and Spectral Lakes, I wasn't able to get any publishers for that. I wasn't able to get that Kickstarter. I wasn't able to make any real money off of it. That's a failure. Mariposa Kickstarter was a failure. Kitty Roo like barely has made any sales. Now what do I do? So I was in like a really hard kind of spot, and I just didn't know what to do. I was praying a lot, like, what do I do next? What's gonna happen? And I thought, okay, well, obviously I'm gonna have to keep, working at another job at the same time. But what do I do next? And I kind of had other ideas for like smaller games to do before eventually doing Mariposa in the future once we had the budget for it. But without even like any budget at all, like I wasn't able to pay my mom back for what she invested. I wasn't able to like do that. I was like, well, I don't even have any budget at all. What do I do? So I was thinking maybe I should just write books again. Maybe I'll just write something that is easy to get published. But I just like had no creative juice for it. Like I was trying to come up with these ideas, like some easy, fast books I could write to try to get any kind of money in the bank. But none of it. I did not like have any creative juices for it. Nothing. No inspiration was really coming to me. The only thing that I had any inspiration for was this idea for Noiramore Academy.
Okay.
So I was like, I don't know, because this idea it would be higher budget than Kitty Roo would be. But I just cannot stop writing down ideas for this thing.
Yeah, I feel you.
So I like wrote down like this whole ideas and concepts, and suddenly like as I was like listening to different music, that's how I like to kind of sit and come up with ideas. I just started like putting together this huge playlist of like songs that were inspiring me for particular characters, particular plot moments, particular vibes, and just feelings at different parts of the school. And I was like, oh my gosh, I really want to work on this. So then I just ended up like making an entire huge story outline in one of my writing programs. I like put out like what's the plot will be, who's gonna be like part of the evil plot and things going on, mystery, what's gonna happen, what's this whole mystery. And I started like doing a whole bunch of world building for it, like, and that's why this is related to this part, and that's why this history is actually really relevant, and all that stuff. Okay. And I was like, you know what, that's it, I'm gonna go full hog on this one and try to have another Kickstarter, another funding, because I can't really work on anything else. I was still kind of just in a bad financial spot though, and there was this whole past year I've actually been in Japan working as an English teacher. So I was able to live on my own for a while, and more importantly, be with my boyfriend in Japan, which was really great.
This cat, stop.
I was barely able to work on my game because I had like no time. I was working full time as a teacher, but even then, like every time I was working as a teacher, in the back of my mind was always trying to generate more ideas for this thing.
How was working in Japan as an English teacher? I have a friend here who he hated his experience in Japan, which is I was like, oh, okay. So I'm just kind of wondering like how that was for you.
Some positive experiences and some negative ones, definitely. I did not like the company I was working for very much at all. But I did like my students. I had some very kind people as my students, and it was really interesting and really cool being able to talk with them and kind of get some of their thoughts on things, and learning more about different people, and they were sharing more about their culture. I was sharing about my culture. So it was really cool. But it was also like super stressful for me because I think in my head I was working on two things full time at the same time. Mm-hmm. I had like this whole job, and then I was also just always in my mind thinking about Noiramore Academy and more ideas. I got to work on this. I want to get a demo out before the end of the year. And that stress, like, and the stress of being in a new country and everyone around me not speaking English, so I had to like rely on other people. I was trying, but I'm like, I had so much of my time was either working on my game or at work, where we can only speak English at work because the students are supposed to only speak English because that's part of like their practicing, right? Mm-hmm. So I didn't really do as much as I really should have, and I'm still kind of trying to learn more.
Because I want to learn Japanese so freaking bad. Ever since I was a middle schooler, I've wanted to be fluent in the language. And I know hiragana. My strongest alphabet is hiragana. Second strongest is katakana, and my kanji is almost non-existent.
Yeah, same here.
that's kind of where I am.
There is this app called Busu that I think is maybe better than Duolingo for like understanding more like grammatical and cultural context.
Okay, listen. This is really important. If you're watching this podcast right now, I had a 1,000-day streak for Duolingo, and I gave it up on purpose because Duolingo is really not actually that good, and I feel like I have enough experience using it to say that. Anyway,
I remember when you had that streak.
Yeah.
You'd be like, wait, hold on, let me do my Duolingo. And I'm like, are you learning anything?
No!
I've heard that it's pretty good for like some languages, but really not good for others, and I don't think it's really good for Japanese.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. But yeah, I think what I really need to lean into is just like learning more like grammar and vocab, especially like verbs and stuff.
Oh yeah, me too.
But because one day, and Citrine knows about this because we've talked about this, there's a furry convention in Japan called Japan Meeting of Furries, or JMOF, and I want to go so freaking bad. But I also want to like take the time off so we can like visit the country and like do all the touristy things and look around. And I'm like, I really want to be at least somewhat fluent in Japanese before we go there, so I can like impress all the locals.
Oh gosh,
like, I want to go to JMOF, but I'm also like, I know there's a pretty large cultural divide between like American furries, European furries, and Japanese furries, and so I'm like, I know I'm not like going to JMOF. I'm not getting like the FWA experience or the Anthrocon experience. So I'm like really not sure what to expect.
Yeah, we need to make friends with Japanese furries, I think is what the answer to that is.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
But
yeah, because like I originally wanted to learn Japanese so I could watch Naruto without subtitles, but then I got loftier aspirations in that. So
yeah.
Now I want to watch My Hero Academia with no subtitles. No, I'm kidding.
That would be cool to be able to watch something in Japanese without subtitles. So that would be very cool. I still want to do that.
I'm gonna watch Edge Runners with no,
because I'll cry.
Oh, I mean, Edge Runners is, I think, almost better with a dub because Night City is supposed to be like English speaking, right?
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
like
Technically more immersive in the dub.
normally I'm very much like just watch it, like whatever thing, even if it's not anime. Normally I'm like, okay, I prefer to watch it in whatever language it was like originally made in. But for anime specifically, I think there are some where the dub is actually better. With
Yeah.
Edge Runners,
Yeah.
I'm prepared to say the dub is equally as good as the sub. Like they're both just very good, especially like Rebecca's voice actor and like David's voice. They were putting in.
Me hate you.
They were putting in that work. Like I genuinely love that dub for real. But anyway,
I love Rebecca. Yeah. She shouldn't have died. Okay, I was talking to Citrine about this. I'm about to unleash this hot take. I would trade Lucy for Rebecca any day. Lucy is avoidant and she is a Minecraft tool. And I think Rebecca was ride or die. And I think she should have lived and Lucy should have died. And I'm not sorry. I don't regret it. And I am correct.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Yeah, but Lucy is like conventionally hot though, so sorry.
Yeah, so sorry, Tangle.
What are you telling me right now that Rebecca is not attractive? Are you gonna look me in my digital face and tell me Rebecca's not attractive?
Considering that she has like huge loli vibes, I don't think I want to answer that question.
She's an adult. Sure, she's not a lolly. I will not let you smear Rebecca on this
podcast. Looks like me. She looks like me, so I related to her.
She's an adult.
That's the thing that what I liked about her is that she's not a lolly. She is actually an adult woman.
Yeah, she's like
we've actually said that on my podcast.
Okay, I must have been.
She's actually an adult.
But yeah, I'm like, look, Tangle, I'm not disagreeing. Like, obviously, it would have been awesome if that had happened because, I want all these characters to live and be happy. But, like, it speaks to, like, the genuine tragedy that is Night City and just the universe that it takes place in, that the characters you really want to stick around die horribly. Like, I don't know. There's just something about it.
I would have picked literally anyone but Lucy. I'm going to be honest.
Have any of you played the Cyberpunk game? Because I really like that game.
I'm going... Okay, so, like, I'm sure... Because obviously you played the game. The game comes out, everyone starts talking about how it's like really buggy or whatever. So I just go, okay, well I won't play that. Then Edge Runners comes out, and I'm like, okay, well I won't watch that because if you couldn't get the game right, why would I believe you could get the anime right? Then I go to college, and one of my college friends like harassed me into watching Edge Runners, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the most amazing thing. And so now I'm like, I want to play the game. Because I hear they fix a lot of the bugs and stuff, and now it's a lot better. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I might have to.
Wait, it is so much better now. But I'm someone that played it on release. And for me personally, I did not get really glitches or things that really messed with my experience. But I still understand that they obviously should have released it in a better state. But the story of that game is just so great. I really like these characters a lot. Like that game made me cry. It is so like. And then they added this like DLC recently that has like a choice near the end that I just like cannot. I played like both endings and I'm like, I don't even know even now with all this context what I would choose. This is so like really so like heartbreaking and like really well done, and exploring Night City is so beautiful. It's so cool.
Is it Phantom Liberty? Is that the
Yes, that's the expansion. And it's a really, really great expansion. It added so much content. And even then, I would say, though, the base game story is, like, leagues above, like, Fallout 4 or anything like that, right? Like, it's a great game. And I'm so glad that they took the time to go back and really fix it up a lot, because I think the reputation of it has changed a lot over time. And even though I did like it when it came out, it's even better now, and highly worth a playthrough. It's the top tier game for me. I just really enjoy the characters a lot.
Yeah,
I think it also speaks to. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying I definitely want to play it. Also, I think actually the quote unquote Kickstarter ends tomorrow, but like they're doing like a whole Cyberpunk 2077 board game thing.
Oh, nice.
So I was like, yeah, for real. And they have like a little DLC with the Edge Runners characters, and I'm like, okay, I have to get that. So it's like,
that's great.
It's a whole thing, but yeah.
So it's connected probably to the CRP, the RPG.
No, I think it's its own standalone board game.
Huh.
Oh, I was just gonna say that Cyberpunk Edge Runners is also a testament of what Trigger can do if you hand them a script.
Yes.
Yes.
Because whenever they don't have a script, you can very much tell they don't have a good script. Like, or if someone or if they wrote the script, then you know when they wrote it. But if somebody else who knows how to write gives them a script and they just do the animation, you're like, oh, okay, we're cooking.
Yeah.
Wait, I told you guys want to watch Promare, right?
Yes!
Yeah.
Oh!
Promare makes no sense. I don't understand. It's beautiful. It's probably one of the most gorgeous things I've ever seen in my life. But if you asked me to tell you what happened in it, I really could not do it.
Yeah, no, like
I don't freaking know.
I don't know if we ever told the story on the podcast, but like I came to visit you for a couple of days. And we were like, okay, it's the last day. Let's watch Promare, because I was so excited for this thing to come out. Like all the, the promo stuff looked really good, and I thought the characters were really cool. We watched that whole movie, and at the end, I was like, I genuinely have no idea what just happened. Like
I was like, I don't know what's going on.
Oh, it's such a mess.
And not in a Miyazaki where it's like you're probably just too stupid to get it. It's like, no, this actually doesn't make any sense.
Like for real,
oh my
what
gosh.
is happening?
It's some sort of similar situation with oh my gosh, what was the furry one called?
New Animal.
New Animal. Like, I really enjoyed the aesthetics of that show a lot. I enjoyed watching it, but like as it went on, I was like, this is not. And then like by the end, I don't really like the ending that much. Maybe I don't even remember that much about it, but I remember it was not like very. It wasn't well written at all. But I really like the animation.
I need to rewatch that.
You don't want to see Wolf Godzilla and Wolf King Ghidorah duke it out?
Yeah, I need to watch that again.
It's cool, but it's not very well written.
It's like the first time I watched it, I kind of had like my furry blinders on, so I'm like, I need to watch that again and like actually think about it this time.
Yeah, I don't remember much about it either, honestly.
Oh, yeah. Heck yeah.
Yeah, I feel that way about Little Witch Academia too, because I'm like, I really like these characters and the setting is decent, but I'm like, I don't like the plot. It's not good.
The shorts were so tight. When they turned it into like an actual 12 episode thing, I was like, and they have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah, it's very clear they didn't know where they were going with it at all. Which is annoying because I really liked Little Witch Academia. I think it's really cute.
I've heard that's like one of their better ones.
Yeah, the shorts are very good.
Like their standalone ones are great. The 12 episode series, I mean, the animation is great. Like if you want to just watch the animation, that's great. But as far as like a cohesive plot,
Also, like I feel like they kind of like flanderized the main character Akko because like she was kind of airheaded in the shorts, but like she wasn't stupid. But I'm like, I felt like in the show she was just making really stupid decisions that like no one would make.
I think that was one of the things that I didn't like about the show is how Yeah.
So I was really mad about that. But like Trigger, if you are ever listening, if you would like me to write a script for you, I can do that.
Let me sit in that writer's room. I will change your life.
Also, whoever owns Code Lyoko, if you are watching this, if you would like me to write a script for you, I would be more than willing to do that. Just let me know. My DMs are open. Also, whoever is running Ruby right now, if you would like me to write a script for you, I'm more than happy to do so. My DMs are open.
Oh my goodness gracious. We'll just start over. It'll be like nothing ever happened. It'll be great.
Yeah. Also, the rights to the Mouse Guard movie should have went to me also, I think.
Weren't they supposed to do... Somebody was supposed to do like a bone animated series and that kind of fell through.
Whoever owns that also, if you would like me to write a script.
Oh my goodness.
I can do that. My DMs are open.
It's funny because you're gonna keep making that joke, and then one of these days, like it's actually going to happen.
Yeah, and I'll be like, yeah, all right, bet, let's go. I was so serious. I was not kidding. It's funny, but it's not a joke.
I'm telling you, man.
Like, bro,
I'm waiting for you to like jump in my DMs one day and be like, yo, we just got the rights to Code Lyoko. Let's get it.
Yo, I would be so happy.
Right?
Like, for real. I already have like ideas like how I would plan the series out and like what changes I would make to the character. Like, bro, like seriously.
No, for real. I'm telling you, we could set that writer's room on fire. I'm telling you,
bro. I'm telling you, bro.
Is it true hearing you saying that, knowing that you're not a sci-fi main at all? but Code Lyoko is literally just like weird sci-fi
Okay.
True.
I like sci-fi occasionally. Most of the time I do not, but Voltron too. Give me that
I was
also.
about to say, I was like, if anybody who worked on that is watching,
oh no,
please let me
Voltron.
have it.
Like, please let us rewrite your show, please.
Like, I'm trying not to talk about Voltron that much on the podcast because I have a very, very, very long YouTube video planned where I literally go through every single episode. So I'm like, let me not get into that here so I can get into it there.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, man. I remember Voltron.
Yeah, we all do.
I remember it.
It's crazy because like
when it was written.
It doesn't matter how far into that fandom you were. Whenever someone brings it up, you just kind of like cringe a little bit.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Tangle, weren't you supposed to make like a giant video on Has-Been, or am I like?
Yes,
that
I
was
actually. Okay. I am going to do that. I want to read some of the, because like obviously I know like the Bible lore that it's based on, but there's like a lot of like non-canon fanon material that it's based on, and I do kind of want to read that before I make any sort of broad statements about it. So I need to get a list of those books, and I want to read them, and then I will probably write the video because I do want to make the video.
I should send you Wendigoon's video on the freaking I'm blinking on it so bad. Dante's Inferno.
Oh, the extended books of the non-canon books of the Bible.
I don't. Well, Lilith is mentioned, and I know that's like a extra canonical Jewish thing, but I think there's also Dante's Inferno, and there's another one.
Are you thinking of the Lesser Key of Solomon?
Lesser Key of Solomon too is one I want to delve into, because like I just want to have a more informed picture and how that relates to actual Christianity before I like talk about it.
Yeah, I also have a Has-Been video planned, but it's less theologically focused.
Yeah,
but I might bring you in on that video actually.
Yes,
as like a guest thing, just be like, hey, you want to hear about that?
I also just don't have time for anything because like I'm moving, and then I'm trying to finish this Warrior Cats map, and then I got to get these episodes out, and then I got to work on this other Warrior Cats map that I'm planning, and I just don't have a lot of time.
Oh wait, you're planning one? I did not know this.
Yes. I don't know if I want to spoil it on here, but yes.
DM me.
Yeah, I'll DM you.
Yay.
But yeah, I'm really excited about that because but I'll DM you.
Yeah.
So okay, one thing I do want to ask, because eventually when one of us finishes an animation, I would like to possibly do a Kickstarter for probably shorts first, and then probably the Nomad Law series will be the first like series we do. But if you want to talk about like your experience using Kickstarter and possibly any tips or tricks or what you think went wrong or whatever, please lay that on us, please.
Oh my gosh. So I think one of the things I did wrong both times I tried to run one was not promoting it enough. I thought I had done the right thing, by posting for like Mariposa posting the trailer on YouTube, like doing like a launch live stream and stuff, but I just hadn't like really built up very much hype around it. I'd only done like a couple of dev vlogs, and I had posted some stuff on social media as well, but I don't think I really posted enough building up to it. But I think even though on some sites I did post a lot, I didn't post enough about when it launched. I thought like, oh, I'll post like 1 or 2 videos talking on like TikTok or Instagram talking about the launch, but that is not enough. Like, because those videos don't reach your entire audience. So you need to like keep posting so like something will get to someone. And that's what I'm planning to do with Noiramore. Like now that I'm maybe like 2 to 3 weeks out from the Kickstarter launch, I'm just like posting something every day, and I'm actually taking like clips from my devlog videos that I already made and like putting them in like short form content format and posting those like every day on Instagram and TikTok and Twitter, trying to get like steady amounts of attention. And I'm like specifically always telling them like, go to the pre-launch Kickstarter page, wishlist on Steam so you get notified when the demo comes out. Because those wish lists on Steam, the more you have, the more your game gets promoted, especially in like recommended games or games like this kind of sections. And then for Kickstarter, the more pre-launch page followers you have, the more that will probably translate into backers once the Kickstarter launches. So that's something I've been trying to make sure to do is keep promoting those 2 links specifically in every post. And I really hope it works out. I'm
Yeah,
also working on a key. Wait, I guess this probably wouldn't apply then to animation, but I'm working with a key mailing type site where it'll
Oh yeah, so
email
you can
like
send
different.
the keys out to
Yeah,
people. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I think that's a game exclusive thing, but that's still pretty interesting.
yeah.
Hmm.
But for animation, I I don't. I think it's a little difficult for me to think about like what you would do with different. I guess probably you'd probably reach out to like cartoon YouTubers, I suppose, or like animation
Yo,
YouTubers.
Saber
Then
Spark,
Saber Spark, please
you're
apply.
yeah.
watching.
I mean, he's pretty. Oh, I've met him before actually.
What?
BronyCon.
Oh, bruh.
Lore.
He was at FWA or Anthrocon?
FWA, I think.
I should have gone up to him. I
Yeah,
didn't see him
yeah.
the whole time
Yeah, I
though.
was gonna say, how are you gonna see him under your fursuit head? I didn't see
I didn't see
anybody
him
the
at
whole
all.
time. Yeah.
I know a couple people said that they saw him, but I didn't see him at all. But yeah, that's a good idea. I think what I do need to do a better job of is just like posting more about the stuff that we're working on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I
That's
need to do
always
that more.
tough because it like takes so much work to make that stuff, and it feels like, well, you're taking time away from actually making the content that you want to release. That's something I've had to
Yeah,
grapple with a lot is like I want to make more dev vlogs or more videos, more promotion, but it's really difficult when I already have not enough time to work on like the actual content. But
yeah.
if I don't work on the social media stuff, then there's no way it'll get funded. But something else I did like last 2 months ago was send out a bunch of emails and submissions to different game publishing websites. Maybe over 100 I reached out to. Um, just like going down this whole list of indie game publishers trying to get any publishing, and unfortunately nothing has worked out. Just a bunch of like, no, 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 sorry your game doesn't fit us, sorry your game doesn't fit us, sorry your game doesn't fit us.
Oh,
Yeah, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Because, you've done the whole game dev thing, and like up to and including releasing stuff, because I've coded for games. I've never coded for anything that's actually hit release. So I'm like, where's the benefit of like because obviously you get a publisher and they help promote your stuff and everything, but don't they take a pretty significant portion of your profit? Because I think it was Team 17 was in like a bit of hot water.
Oh
I
yeah.
think I'm prefacing this with I think, in case I have the wrong company, but I think it was Team 17 got into like a bit of hot water because people were very angry about like they take a huge cut of your profit, and one person was like, I made no money on this game because they took all my whatever, allegedly. So anyway, what are your thoughts on that? Yeah, allegedly on all of that.
My thoughts on that is that sometimes publishers are kind of just a necessary thing because sometimes they're the only way you can get funding. Because sometimes publishers will like fund your game straight up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and if I have no other options, then I'm willing to work with the publisher, even if it means a big chunk of my profits are taken, because I'd like to be able to make the game at all.
Yeah, I hear that.
So it's kind of one of those.
Yeah, I was
sorry, my
listening to
cat is
that.
purring really loud.
Oh, she's baby. It's allowed.
That is baby. So it's something I'm totally open to, but you know,
Okay.
you still have to be careful which one you go with, definitely.
Yeah, I bet.
I think at least for animation, I think a hard boundary for me is probably I will probably never end up pitching to a network just because I've seen how they treat their creators,
Mm-hmm.
and also just the creative freedom you get is pretty limited because obviously they have to make stuff that they know is gonna have the widest appeal to whatever demographic that they're
Yeah.
which is respectable. But I feel like the thing I like about animation is the way that you're able to express yourself and your ideas, and I'm like I don't necessarily want to have that restricted in any way by a studio. But I feel like video games and animation are a little bit different in that regard.
Yeah. Speaking of video games, audience, if you're watching this video right now, I've been trying to wear Tangle down to get her to sign off on a Nomad Lost video game. So if that's something you want to see, you should let her know that. That's all I'm saying.
It has to come out first, and we are not even there yet.
I know, but listen.
I'm open to it. I just don't know if it like fits the the series very well. If that makes sense.
Yeah, you should harass her about it though. If you think it's good.
I mean, if y'all want to see a Nomad Lost game, we'll figure it out. But we have to have like a Nomad Lost release,
show? Yeah,
like a show, or the teaser that we've been working on for 4 years.
Yep.
That first. But if you'd like to help make that happen, you can subscribe and/or donate money, possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that'd be cool. I think my main concern about kickstarting right now is that we don't have a huge audience. I have a decent audience on my own, but I don't know if it's enough to fund a cartoon. I'm gonna be honest. So we shall see.
That's always the really tough part. It's like either you go the corporate way or you go the indie way, but both of them can be so difficult. But the indie way is generally better if you're able to pull it off. But the big question is the if, which is what I've been trying for like 6 years.
Yeah, you've done a lot. Like a lot.
I hope this is the one that works.
Yeah, you
Me
can
too.
I don't mind boosting you on the Thornforge accounts that we have whenever you release stuff. I can do that.
Thanks so much.
Yeah.
I'm hoping too that like the key mailing stuff will work more this time because I'm using like a different site now.
Are you trying to reach out to like specific people, or are you just sending out keys to whoever will play it?
So the what the strategy sort of is that the key mailer sites, obviously they don't have everybody on there. They kind of have their kind of selection of accounts and audiences. So they have some pretty big people on there, but obviously they probably get spammed with a bunch of different people, trying to get them to play. So it's very low chance. But you can also, do mid-sized people, lower-sized people, and those are usually really good to have too. But what you can also do is just contact emailers with like a normal email. All these YouTube channels, if you go in like their about section, you can find usually their business email, and that's usually the way I'll try to contact them. I got a few people I reached out to that way who made some videos on the Fantastic Kitty Roo. That was really fun to see. It's always the best part is always like seeing people's reactions to like their game and stuff. My friend Josh from like the Brony fandom, I watched him play it, and he was just laughing so much at the jokes. I was like, I don't know if they're that funny, but I'm really glad you're enjoying it. And just seeing people like, reacting to the characters, especially like the creepy unicorn plushie lady who's like implying she's gonna murder someone. And seeing like people's reactions to her character was so fun. And but what's so funny too is like seeing people react to their work is like you want to watch but you also don't at the same time. Because like you're exposing like your whole like creative self to someone you don't know, and you're like, what are they gonna say? Like you're kind of afraid they'll say something negative, but also like even if they do only say positive things, it's still kind of embarrassing to watch. Watch at the same time. So sometimes it can be like feeling like you're really opening yourself up to someone when you're putting like such a big project that you've put so much time into in front of someone and just like getting their candid opinions.
Yeah,
but
it's a very vulnerable experience.
Yeah, so I'm really thankful that the reactions to Mariposa and Kitty Roo were so positive. And in fact, Kitty Roo has a 100% positive rating on Steam, which I'm super happy about. It's really awesome, and some people left some really, really good critique as well as some really kind words. So it's really awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
And
Okay, so we're
yeah.
nearing. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Did you
Oh,
want?
I guess that's about it. I'm just excited to launch in a few weeks, and it's been really stressful, but I love the game dev process a lot. I love making stuff. Yeah.
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 Wait, one more question, and then I will
Yeah.
probably see if
Yeah,
we
'cause
want to allow this
yeah.
to come to a natural conclusion. For anyone here, which is actually pretty much everyone here, except for Tangle, do you have a preference on game engine?
Oh,
I don't have a
Unreal.
preference.
Okay. Because I'm like, I mostly have done like Java and C# developing, which makes Unity very, very easy for me to use. And I also really like the scene build, like, you know, the way they use the scenes to build games. But after that controversy, I'm like, I kind of don't want to touch this with a 10-foot pole anymore. So I'm like,
I've heard they're fully rolling that back now, but that's still like a really
Yeah, I heard
Yeah,
they.
no, they totally were like, okay, no, we give up. You clearly are not letting that slide. But I'm like, the fact that you even thought to try this is like, I kind of never want to deal with you again.
Mm-hmm. There's we've been using Unreal Engine for everything, and it's kind of just like the best option at the moment. But I've heard that Godot is also pretty good, especially because it's like, I think it's open source, so
Yeah.
it's there won't be the same kind of worries that you'll get with like Unity and potentially Unreal. Like Unreal hasn't really made any stupid decisions yet, but who knows? Like in the future,
There's
maybe
still
something.
time.
Yeah, exactly. So as much as we really like Unreal a lot, there might be something bad that happens in the future. But for now, we're gonna stick with it.
Okay, cool.
Cool. Yeah, I was gonna say
All right.
if we didn't have anything else to say, we probably should wrap up because it's getting kind of close to more than an hour. So I'm like,
OBS says it's been an hour and 30 minutes, so we are.
oh, that's not as bad because I feel
Wow.
bad because the Fictional Crushes episode is like literally 2 hours long,
Oh my
and I
goodness
felt
gracious.
bad making Silver edit that, so I kind of don't want to make him do that again.
All right, so I guess I'm gonna, unless anyone has any last thoughts, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up here.
Thank you guys so much for having me on the podcast. This was
Yeah,
fun.
thank you for being our first guest. Oh my gosh, I'm excited. Hopefully, we'll start making money. That'd be cool.
I'm on a furry podcast, and I'm not even a furry.
Yay!
Yes.
Yeah.
Amazing. All right, well, I guess we're going to go ahead and call it there. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, you can go ahead and leave a like. You can subscribe to the channel so that YouTube can pretend like they'll notify you when we post videos. If you dislike the video, keep it to yourself. Social media will be in the description. All the information, like our socials, our guest socials, all that stuff, it will be in the description. If you want to fight about something, leave a comment. You know, all that good stuff. All right. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
It